All right, so I took a couple of hours off of work today in order to drive from the desert where I live to the nearest big city, which is Temecula, to go to the post office to submit my application to the Japanese consulate here in Los Angeles to get my entry permit. This is not my residency or my certificate of eligibility. This is the permit that I can get to enter the country of Japan. So I'm going to briefly take a moment, fresh in my mind. I just got off the phone with the staff at the consulate in Los Angeles to share with you this important step and process that I've just verified. I believe I have it all in order. And I'm going to move around here. What did I do with all the paperwork? So, me and little Rudy here, he's sleeping gently. We're going to leave in just a bit. This is a really important step. This is the step that will get me into Japan and get me my residency card. So to get there, I had to go through a complicated process, beginning with my wife, who had arrived in Japan, filling out documentation on my behalf, and I provided some documents as well that she then submitted to the Japanese government there, which they reviewed to basically determine if they wanted me to come live there. They did. They determined that that was A-OK, and they issued for me what's called a Certificate of Eligibility. There's nothing private on here, which looks like this. This is a copy of that document. And then there's two basically supporting documents as well that all filled out in Japanese that the government provided. So when we submitted that information, the Japanese government then looked at it and said, well, okay, we'll let this guy come, and they decided amount of time. It could have been 1 year, 3 years, or 5 years. They said 3 years. So they gave me this document that says I can come for 3 years. Now, I have to supply this document along with a whole host of other items on this checklist, which I will show you, and I'll go over them step by step, and mail that to the Japanese government, to the Japanese consulate here in Los Angeles for them to do the paperwork to let me in. So think of it as a two-step process. The Japanese government decides if they want me, and then it's up to the consulate to then grant me the appropriate paperwork to do it. So if it seems like it's double work, it's not in a way. They have different, arenas of authority, right? Jurisdictions of authority. So one can decide if we want me, the other can issue me the permit. This is the document that's really important. Go to the Japanese website, and they'll have this laid out. There's a where do you do thing. It's a colored checkbox thing, and you can pick the one. This is the yellow one, that leads you here. The colors don't matter. Here's what I need to provide. 1, my original valid passport, the actual real deal to send, because they're going to put my visa stamp in there, right? 2, a completed visa application form. That's this document, which I'll show you in oblique sense, which includes all the details, that lots and lots, 2 pages of lots and lots of information that I have to provide, and it includes a photograph. There he is. Had to go and get a passport photo for that. And you had to glue it on. Next, if I'm not a citizen, I have to provide proof of my residency status in the United States. But I am a citizen, so I don't have to provide that. Then I have to provide the Certificate of Eligibility. That's this document, right? And its supporting documents. Then the proof of current address, which is a little bit tricky. So I need to provide my driver's license with my current address on it. Then I have to provide a document, and they'll accept like an insurance document, renter's insurance document, automobile insurance, renter's insurance, and a few other types. And I got my automobile insurance document, and it has to have the same address. Now, when I first got it all set up, I looked, it didn't have the same address. So I had to go to my insurance company, change the address because my driver's license has an old address. So I had to have my insurance changed to an old address, which is cool because I don't have an address anymore. So that's all in alignment. Next and they will only take copies of that, no originals of that one. And there's one here for a visa fee, but if you dig deep in the website, they say, hey, if you're an American, Canadian, Mexican, and a whole bunch of other countries, you don't need to worry about the visa fee. You're covered. So I didn't have to do that. That was one of the reasons I called them. I wanted to make sure. Then you have to provide a prepaid, self-addressed stamped envelope, which I've done here. All the stamps are right there. And I put in all the address information. It's all ready to go. Priority Express, I've got the copy of the tracking number, which is in a safe place over there. Then you have to do this completed release of liability. This is basically, you fill this out and you say, I hold the Japanese consulate harmless should they lose my documents, including my passport. And that's it. So what I did was I got all that together. It took me weeks to get all this stuff together, months, and then to get it all in order. And then I went and I got on the long time on the phone with the consulate, got to talk to a human being, and I had 3 questions for them. My first question was, is it true that I don't have to pay a fee? Because I'm not sending them any money. She said, yes, that's true. 2, is it true that I don't have to, because in one part of the website it said you have to include an invitation letter and a letter of guarantee, but it's not on the checklist. So, and I thought, well, maybe that makes sense because my wife had to provide that information when she got the COE. So I wanted to ask him, is it okay if I don't include the invitation and the guarantee because Japan already approved it? And she said, yeah, that's right. So that's good. So now I've got the clearance from them. I've got everything. All the documents here laid out on the steps to my 2nd floor here are all I need. Now I need to assemble them all together. Do not use any paper clips. Do not glue anything together. None of that stuff. Put it all together it's like a Russian doll. All of these documents will be put in order with the checklist at the top so that they know I did my due diligence. Each part is checked off. Put those with the self-addressed stamp envelope together in this bigger envelope that I got to fit it so that they get it. This is what they'll get in the mail. This is what they'll get. They'll open it all up. They'll go through all my documents. They'll do all the changes that they need to me. They'll put everything in here and send it back to me. And I'm off to the races. And hopefully within 2 weeks or so, I'll get it back and it'll be done, because timing is important, because I need to get out of here in Japan before the 4th day of January, before my COE expires, in which case I have to go back and start all over again. And I need to ship the dog out like the 3rd week of December, and I want to be on that same plane. So it's all got to fall into place. Pitter patter, pitter patter. I can do it. I've done my due diligence. It's all laid out on the stairs. Just don't open the door and have a wind blow through. There you go. That's it. As if that's it. That should be it, hopefully. Wish me luck. What do you think, little boy? You go to town soon? Yeah, let's have lunch first. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.